always start with alrighty, welcome to the stream. There she is, the great majestic 737 MAX. I suppose not the greatest and the most majestic, but rather great and majestic for our standards, I think. So we're doing a mission career today, or career mission rather. So I won't waste too much time outside because we've been loaded in for a little while. Our goal is to, we've been flying this for a while, we're at 195 million credits, and this flight is finally going to get us into 200 million. We're goal of 270 million because I want to get the 747 with the big hump on his head. And that seems to be the next and kind of only plane that I can upgrade to now because I really am struggling with the Airbuses. So once I get that, then I'll inevitably have to learn how to fly them. But until then, this is our beast. There's no one aboard yet, so let's hop in and begin boarding.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's make this flight to Bucharest a great experience.
Alrighty. Just wait for us to get a bit of confirmation to start boarding. I think...
Captain, it's Philip, the purser. Ready to board passengers. Waiting on your go-ahead.
There we go. Go ahead. We might just get booted straight. I'm considering...
Ground. Post Foz Sierra Alpha, Alpha 414. Could you please get the passengers on board?
Post Foz Sierra Alpha Alpha 414. A ramp is on its way.
So we might be, we are getting the ramp, but there's a chance it's going to skip us straight to taxi. It does that a lot in these slightly smaller airports, but we are getting the ramp, so let's see. Oh, that bus is kind of in your way, isn't it? Request clearance while they mucking about. Oh, there we go.
Victoria Ground. Post Foz Sierra Alpha Alpha 414 ready to copy IFR clearance to Otapini.
Try to get a
Post
little bit
Foz
of an
Sierra
angle of
Alpha
that
Alpha
happening.
414 is cleared to Otapini Airport via the Papa Papa November Tree Alpha departure, runway 04. Climb via SID, maintain flight level tree 70. Departure frequency is 118.275, squawk 5647.
Welcome aboard, everyone. SAF Air is SAFA, because I'm a South African and I couldn't think of a better name. And it's sort of a homage to South African Airways, which I believe is no longer an airline.
Post Foz Sierra Alpha Alpha 414. Did you hear my last transmission?
I sure did. Sorry, I was outside the plane, so I forgot you were talking to me. So yeah,
Clear
we're
to Otapini
called
via
SAA.
Papa Papa November Tree Alpha departure, runway 04. Climb via SID, maintain flight level tree 70. Departure frequency is 118.275, squawk 5647. Post Foz Sierra Alpha Alpha 414.
Boarding is
Post Foz
running really
Sierra
smoothly.
Alpha Alpha 414. Readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.805 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Good day. Okay, we don't need to respond to that. 75% passengers boarded. This is a very full flight. Let's hop back in the flight deck. Okay, let's get a few things sorted. Okay. So our cruise level is 36,000. I'll leave it at 10 for now.
We've completed boarding, Captain.
Set our speed. Whoop, it's a little bit fast. Let's just scroll. 195 will do. I usually like to, well, let's set parking brakes and take them off rather. Request pushback.
Victoria ground. Pose Foz Sierra Alpha Alpha
Sierra Alpha Alpha
414.
414.
Requesting pushback.
Request accepted.
Okay, everything seems to be running pretty smoothly.
Tow bar in place, Captain.
Okay. Let's wait for pushback to complete. Still got a little bit to set up here, so we're not quite ready for taxi.
You're cleared to start engines.
Oh, thank you, sir. I want to be honest, I still have not learnt the full startup procedure, so I just... Oh, hang on, before I do that, actually... Let's just... Power up the old Logitech flight plugin. There we go. Okay, so for this plane, the only thing I really use is the gear up. It doesn't fully sync very well, and it's really hard to try and key bind it. There we go. Set parking brake. So I just fire up with the good old-fashioned Control E in this plane. Okay, what's our course for the landing? Let's just stick that in. Actually, we can do that at takeoff. Takeoff. Heading 35 degrees. Oops, wrong way. Okay, 35 degrees. Let's pop our nav and our LNAV. Okay, let's just... It's been a little while since we've flown this. Oh, we should probably put our flight directors on. That'll allow LNAV. Our maps, there we go. Our maps will load in now. Okay. Where's our range? Oh, we're at 5 miles. It doesn't go any further in this particular aircraft. Or maybe there is a way, if anyone knows that there is an airport setting for this one where you can zoom in closer. I will just use this for now. Okay, well, that was a great effort at a pushback. We're still going to have to turn around completely to get out of here. Unless, yep. Yeah, we can't get out that way. Okay. Engine 1's powered up nicely. We're at 10,000 feet for now. Let's do our V speeds. That's not looking particularly good. Let's give that a wiggle. Looking good. Okay, V speeds. Seeing as it's quite a heavy flight, I'm not super familiar. I'm going to throw in some random ones. But that's seeming like on the high end of the VR and V1 speeds. Because we are quite full. And it's quite a long flight too, so we have quite a lot of fuel on board. Okay, legs. It's all looking good and connected. Alrighty, let's request our clearance.
Victoria ground. Pose Foz Sierra Alpha Alpha 414 with whiskey. Ready to taxi. IFR.
Pose Foz Sierra Alpha Alpha 414. Taxi to and hold short of runway 04 via taxiway Echo 5 Delta Tango 5 Charlie 1. Contact tower on 118.45 when ready.
Let's get this fuel. And seatbelt lights on.
Taxi, hold short runway 0.
Got our
We're using
taxi lights
taxiway
on
Echo
already.
5 Delta Tango 5 Charlie 1. Post Foz Sierra Alpha 414.
Parking brakes released. I'm not too sure how we're going to get out of here. Because, I mean, they've pushed us back in the wrong direction. So we're still facing the wrong way. So we're going to have to... either going to have to assume that we're going to be able to drive through those vehicles, or we're going to have to go forward and do a big loop. Yeah, okay, let's just go forward and do a big loop. So yeah, we're going to have to go forward and do a massive loop because of where they've parked. And they pushed us out in the wrong direction. I know you actually can control the direction they push you out in, but I didn't pay much attention because I assumed they wouldn't push us out in the wrong direction. The game's physics might have thought that there was a runway, or that little strip over there. They might have thought that that was a taxiway. Let's see. Nope, it's showing the short holds behind us, so yeah, this is all we can do. A sharp turn. It's amazing how sharp these planes can turn. Well, in the game anyway. I don't know if this would be tearing all the rubber off the tires if you tried to do this in real life. But then I think in real life they would figure out that you need to be pushed out in the other direction. Let's give us a little more juice on that power. Welcome passengers.
Guests, our captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please stow your hand luggage underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. Make sure your seat back and folding trays are in full upright position. If you're seated near an emergency exit, carefully read the special instructions card located by your seat. A reminder that this is a non-smoking flight, including the lavatories. If you have any questions, feel free to ask one of our attendants. Thank you. Guests, I'd like to direct your attention to the monitors, where we'll be demonstrating our safety procedures. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the front of the cabin for an important safety demonstration. There are designated emergency exits on this aircraft. Look around and locate the exit closest to you. Should the cabin experience a sudden pressure loss, oxygen masks will drop down from above your seat. Place the mask over your mouth and nose, then pull the strap to adjust it. If you're traveling with children, put on your own mask properly on before helping your children. In case of emergency,
Properly on.
after you hear the brace message, tuck your chin onto your chest and bend forward. Place your head against the seat in front with your arms wrapped around your head. Ensure your feet are flat on the floor. A life jacket is located
What's this
under your
homie
seat.
doing?
If necessary, take the vest and slip it over your head. Pass the straps around your waist and adjust
we're not
like
supposed
this.
to be following
To
him.
inflate the vest,
I don't really
pull
know where we're
firmly on the
supposed to
red
be
cord,
going.
only when leaving the aircraft. If you need to refill it, blow into the oral inflating system. A whistle and light are here to attract attention.
Okay. So far, not off to a great start, but it's... I'm going to put most of that down to the game's physics. Could anyone explain to me why I still have a flight conflict? I can't figure out what I'm missing on the setup. When the game skips me straight to, like, to taxi, when it has like when the airport isn't supporting it, or if the game has a glitch, it'll skip you straight to taxi. Then it's cleared. Once they've set the plane up for me, it's clear, but I can never get that flight conflict to go away. It doesn't seem to affect anything. There's clearly something that I'm missing along the way, whether it's, I don't think it's the lighting. But yeah, if anyone can explain that, that would be amazing. But I'll just continue to ignore it for now. That's the only good thing about being skipped forward, is I don't get that warning. doing there, my friend? That's an interesting choice of haircut you've got there. I do apologize for the slightly glitchy frame rates. My computer does struggle a little bit with the Airbus, but it gets a little better once I'm away from the airports, and I just tolerate it because the game it's too pretty. So I tolerate, and I just try and move slower because I just hate setting the graphics back. It just looks so dull then. It's just unsatisfying. I have a very slow taxi today. Riding without view. I don't like going outside. I know, well, yeah, it looks cool. I'm recording, so I might do an edit of this flight with a little bit more outside viewing. Which reminds me, whoopsie. Whoops, wrong one. Let's add a little extra strain to my poor computer.
Victoria Tower, Pose Foz Sierra Alpha Alpha, 414 ready for departure. Runway 04, IFR to Otapini.
I wonder if that's enough runway.
Alpha Alpha 414.
No, we're gonna have to go down.
1015. Cleared for takeoff, runway 04.
So why did they give us a hold short there? So yeah, it's still a little bit bugged out. It pushed us out the wrong way, and I assumed it was because it took those for taxiways, and it was going to put my hold short here. Oh, let me just confirm that. Oh, I just did. Oh, I was just late. Yes. But instead they put us here, so now we have to taxi backwards down the runway.
Alpha 414.
That could be a potential update. They could allow us to choose where our hold shorts are. Anyway.
Guests, please fasten your seatbelts and secure all baggage underneath your seat or in the overhead compartments. Place your seats and table trays in the upright position. Turn off all personal electronic devices, including laptops and cell phones, and prepare for takeoff.
Thank you, mentor pilot, for teaching me that trick while we're overpowering a little bit. You're probably not supposed to do it while he's still rolling onto the runway. But apparently you should push your throttles all the way forward and all the way back before you go on to just check. Because if it gives you a beep, that means you've done something wrong and you need to stop and check. Probably should have done it before I started rolling onto the runway. Okay, so what's the deal? Do we turn? I'm going to have to backtrack now because I don't think that's enough runway. Yeah, so we're going to have to go back on ourselves now. Probably should have had a little bit of a look before we did that. Yeah, okay, it is saying taxi to end of runway 4. See, there was another a taxi point for me to access the end of the runway, you know. But now, this just seems very irresponsible, and I feel like this wouldn't happen in real life. Unless, obviously it would, but like in circumstances where it had to. But when there's a taxiway right next to us on the other side of those trees, it seems a bit foolish. Anyway, tis but a game. A simulator, sorry. Although we're kind of playing the game side of the simulator now. We're getting a little bounce on as we pick up a bit of speed. Pretty sure we can go over taxi speed now because we're technically not taxiing anymore. And we would want to be getting out of the way and off this runway as fast as possible. Okay, we will ease off a little bit there. Check with my trim. Another thing, I'll just go outside quickly. Yeah, minus 27. Why does the plane always by default decide that minus 27 trim is a good idea? There we go. Boom. I don't know if zero is a good. I don't know exactly what it is, and I don't understand those numbers. I mean, I kind of understand it, but I don't do the maths and the physics. I mean, the weights and everything perfectly. Sort of half rely on the game to do that, and then the only main reason I put the V speeds in is because it says on my screen no V speeds otherwise, and I don't like that. But I leave out a lot of the other information, and it seems like the game programs in most of what you need. I never used to use VNav because also initially with the bugs it was really hard to try and get it to work anyway, so I learned to fly just with the vertical speed and the auto throttle, which I'm going to turn on now, and I used to just always do manual auto throttle, but I do use the V speeds now. Alrighty, I mean VNav now because it seems to be working. So power back up to 40 and hold go. Tiny bit across. Getting airborne, there's our V1, rotate or a little bit fast. Gear up. So notice the co-pilot used to say V1, I used to do the rotate speed, they don't seem to do it anymore. Okay, flaps up.
Alpha Alpha 414 for contact Madrid Center on 118.275. Good day.
Good day. Oops.
118.275 for pose FA Sierra Alpha Alpha 414. Madrid Center, pose FA Sierra Alpha Alpha 414 is passing 2,900 climbing flight level tree 70.
That's one. Down a little bit early on our turn.
414, Madrid Center, QNH 101 tree, radar contact.
And flaps up. So it's probably not the best time to lift flaps, to be honest. Oh, just trim her up a little bit. Beautiful. Oh, I think our nose is up a little. Oh, going a little bit wide. Give our passengers a slightly more smooth, soft turn. They're going to be in the plane for a long time. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference on our flight time. Yeah, we've got about 3.5 hours today. Approaching 10,000. Let's pop the autopilot on. Might throw us around a little bit because we're not quite en route yet, and I don't know what phase of the VNAV we're going to be in, so it's probably going to level us out. So let's. There we go. Swing us en route quite steeply. We probably should have clicked it a second earlier. Landing lights off. Runway lights. Not 100% sure of my configuration of these lights and what need to be on. I like having the logo on.
Captain, let's drop our speed below
We're not
250
going over
knots
250.
until we reach 10,000 feet.
What's the bet we're going in? Okay, we're like 3 knots over. And you got a really weird voice. Just so you know. Doesn't really suit the look you're going for. I'll leave those on for a little bit longer, just make sure it gets stable. Okay, we're still leveling out. Let's hit altitude intervention. Let's hit it one more time. Oh wait, we've got to set our altitude, that would help. Get us to 37,000. Going all the way up today. Altitude intervention. That should start lifting our nose up. There we go. Yeah, we were getting there. I know we probably should have had that set up. My apologies. And speed should jump up now. I don't know why it's still holding at 250. Possibly up to. Yeah, it's gonna. Okay, it'll reset after that. And then those are all blank, so I don't actually know. I haven't pre-programmed them, so curious to see what it sets it to. It'll probably just go to about 320. So we get to Victor Foxtrot Delta 21.0. Our speed should jump up. If it doesn't, then we'll go on to manual auto throttle, which sounds so redundant. Oh, it's quite a steep bank. Straight into a headwind. 12 knots. There we go, 316. Okay, cool, so it's sped us up. Quite a steep. Oh no, actually not at all. I suppose it's relative to your speed. 2000 VS seems fast, but we're going, I mean, seems steep, but it's not even 5 degrees. Okay. Slight cross headwind. We're looking pretty very stable. 15,000 feet. 15,200 feet. We're rocking about a little bit, so we'll leave the seatbelt lights on for a little bit longer. Stop our takeoff recording. Alrighty. Oh, I've still got the background music playing. And very softly let back out. I couldn't hear it in the headphones, sorry. You might not be able to hear it either, but I just saw the levels jumping. Alrighty, I think that's coming up 18,000. Let's get our barometers set. Oh no, we only had 16 or 17. Well, let's set them to standard anyway. Come on. It's always hard to get that standard button. Oh yeah, it's right click, sorry. I've just changed my clicks back to the like glowy version instead of the what was it called? It's like called vintage or something for the PC only, but it was a little bit, it took a while to get used to it, but then it meant it was completely invisible when I didn't have a cursor on, so now at least you can see what I'm operating.
Captain,
But I gotta
we just cleared
relearn.
18,000 feet time to set the altimeter to standard.
Like, that was the voice of the lead purser, who's not my first officer, so why is she telling me that? I mean, I appreciate that. And it's funny that of all the things in the game, I guess they've just deemed it necessary, like that you kind of have to do that. Because of all the things, for some weird reason, it flashes that and sort of tells you to do that, but nothing else. Like, it won't tell you to set flaps or do lights or anything. But yeah, your barometers need to be checked. So it's clearly quite important that above 18,000 we're all set to standard for navigation. Oh, I had a cup of tea before takeoff and it's now iced tea. Lukewarm tea anyway. Whoa, we're back on the turn. Keep our heading select aligned. Just in case, ma. For what it's worth, we'll start the timer with 10 minutes in after takeoff. It's handy that the estimated time there will start automatically from, I presume that's set from the time your landing gear lifts off the ground, because it seems to start as soon as you take off and as soon as you land, so very handy, because I always forget to start timers. Very steady cruise. 2 degrees nose up. Alrighty, let's settle in for the long haul. Pop those seatbelt lights off now, I reckon. Although we are about to. But yeah, if it gets bumpy, we'll put them back on. I'm assuming that's the no smoking, so I always flick both of them, but I don't actually think it says that. I'll leave that one on auto. Alrighty, let's settle in. We might be flying over cloud for a while, so we might not see much. Check on the local times. Does that snow? No. Maybe actually.
Sierra Alpha, Alpha 414. Bordeaux Center, Pose Fa Sierra Alpha, Alpha 414 is passing flight level 290, climbing flight level tree 70. Pose Fa Sierra Alpha, Alpha 414, Bordeaux Center, radar contact continue. 121.25. Proposed 5 Sierra Alpha, Alpha 414.
to get a little bit of a sense of where we're currently flying in the world. So we'll be coming up, I think. Let's reorient it. Oh yeah, no, wait. Confused again. Google Earth is confusing to control. The same as Google Maps. But it's different. There's Spain. Turn. Ah, there we go. So, as far as I can tell, I'm not really talking into the mic, am I? Looks like we're coming over this, just over Nice and Monaco. We're about to go over that little stretch of ocean and cruise over Genoa. Where are we right now? Let's look over some mountains. Oh yeah, clearly over some mountains. Here's some I'm losing the signal. We've got quite a whiles to go. Thank you, pop-ups. Sorry about that. I thought you should give me a little bit more. see some of this. Bologna. Mighty fine spaghetti coming out of that city. Approaching halfway. Is that the same? Or is it? No, it's probably this one. Yeah. It doesn't have that point. Or does it? Oh yeah, it does. Okay. Points. Should be a very significant word. That's probably a bay. Interest. Maybe that's where we're coming in. I find it so hard to figure it out from Flight Sim's map. It's an interesting shaped city. It feels like it's a big, massive circle. Mountains, and now it's just flattened right out again. Good evening, UU1 Gaming. Welcome. No, unfortunately, I'm not a real pilot at all. Apologies for the long reply. This is a long flight, so I just actually went and had a quick shower. Be fresh and ready for the landing. But no, I'm not a pilot. I'm just a sim pilot. But yeah, thank you for joining. Apologies that this is a little bit of a slow stream, but it is quite a long flight. Hopefully get a bit more exciting in the next half an hour or so. We need to prep for landing shortly. Keep the music going or turn it off? It's sort of my, while I'm not around, background music, but it's back now, but I feel like it's very silent without it. definitely getting to the point where we need to start our descent, I think. Doesn't look like I've missed any ATC. I do tend to struggle with this a little bit with when you're flying on IFR, like getting descent clearance. It used to sort of work, but like I need to start descending now. But if I request it, not that I can, but if we tune Bucharest Center.
Bucharest Center, post 5 Sierra Alpha, Alpha 414, flight level tree 70. Post 5 Sierra Alpha, Alpha 414, Bucharest Center, radar contact. Continue to kick it.
So there we go. We can request a decrease, but I can guarantee that when we do that, or almost guarantee that as soon as we start decreasing our altitude, he's going to call us again and tell us to return to 37,000. And then he'll keep repeating that all the way down. Or we just cancel IFR. It's not looking like a particularly bad weather. Let's have a look. But we do need to start descending pretty soon because we're 140 miles out, and at 37,000 feet we've got a long way to go down. Let's see here. Let's check the weather first. So weather's VFR. A little bit of wind, but not really. 29.97, let's try and remember that. Runways. Runway 8. ILS is 110.9. 312 feet. 6 knots. Okay, so it's a pretty chill. Yeah, okay, I'm going to cancel IFR, I think. Because then we can descend freely.
Post 5 Sierra Alpha, Alpha 414. Cancel IFR at this time. Post 5 Sierra Alpha, Alpha 414. IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 7000. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved. Good day.
So yeah, Bella's already asking for 2.5. Like, we really need to start getting a move on. Okay, so I'm going to use VS just to come down. Let's bring that all the way. Oopsie, not that far. Pretty much just going to go straight to 2.5, ready for our ILS. Whoopsie, there we go. So 2,500 feet VS. Let's get the nose down. Fairly steeply. Because I do want to start losing some height pretty quickly. Okay, and yeah, we'll go on to speed, so manual auto throttle. Manual speed control on the auto throttle, and we'll slow us down. We're not going to achieve this speed yet, but we'll just kill the power. And we might as well bring ourselves right back to pretty much where we're going to want to be slowing down to once we level off at 2,500. 180 knots should do. Okay, let's get a little bit of landing prepared. Let's start with auto brakes. I'm going to go full auto brakes because we are very heavy. Arm up speed brake, although we're probably going to need to use that a couple times in the next 10 minutes. Let's get tuner. ILS was at 110.8. Oh, we're getting glitchy. 110.9. ILS is tuned. Let's have a look at our... Let's just do this because the graphics are struggling a little bit. Seems to be struggling to approach. Oh, I didn't even look. What runway are we on? Where's my runway? Oh, there, runway 8. Runway 8, right. ILS local. Alright, let's see. Where are we coming in on this map? It usually shows us on here. We're coming up for Obella, I believe. So we are basically coming, we should be about here. Usually it shows you, I might actually, this is the ILS or local. Let's check, localizer, let's check. Oh, it's this. Oh, okay, that wasn't. Weird, it usually shows your little plane as a little icon over here. And I'm pretty sure we'd be coming from about there, or maybe here, but I'm pretty sure it's here. 79 degrees, Obella at 2,500 yen. Okay, we still got a while to go. About how far are we now? Uh, 99 miles. Nice. Let's reset this as well. Heading up. Geeken. So that probably would have been our point of descent. So we might have got descent clearance at that point from ILS, but I sometimes find they leave it quite late. And then I'm not too sure, you know, we're only just past 30,000. We've still got a long way to go. And I feel like we're descending quite steeply at the moment. Although fast, but the speed we're going, we could probably dip our nose a little bit more than that. If anyone knows what a good sort of cruise or what your VS should be going down, I guess it does dip it down quite a lot when I'm on N1 or on VNAV. But I very rarely use VNAV on descent. I also have a problem sometimes with my speed. I think it's got something to do with this. Because technically now above a certain speed, like once it gets below 0.6 mark and below 18,000, I think, it's below a certain height. It's once the speeds match, because there's a point in which they kind of cross over as you get higher and your speed, your knots gets lower. There's all a little, that confuses me a little bit, and I kind of understand the concept behind it, but I don't understand all the maths. But I do think that's why I'm having issues. I don't click this over, and then when I come in, it's leaving my little bug, my little speed bug. Like now it's set correctly, I think. Yes, it is. No. See, 180, we've set to 180, my speed bug has only gone down to 220. Now I think that's because we're in the mode we're in at this height. The slowest we can go, if I roll, see, it was saying 0.54, but the slowest we can go in Mach speed mode is 0.6. Once we get below a certain level over there, now it's jumped back up to 2, I don't know, I'm so confused. You switch it to 248, scroll it down, Okay, it's going. Is it going to go past 220? Yes, okay, it's gone past it. Okay, I think I might now, maybe now it's going to be working. I think before, because I hadn't toggled that yet, even though I had set 180, it was still reading 220. That had something to do with it, and it was when at 37,000 feet when we set it, 220 was the equivalent of Mark's, I don't know, yeah, see it gets, yeah, I don't know. But hopefully it works now, hopefully we're on. Because I'm pretty sure, well, as long as it's reading what I've set it to now, we're obviously going way faster because we're plummeting down towards Earth quite quickly. And that doesn't matter yet. Once we get to like 10, well not 10, 15,000 towards 10, then I might start lifting the nose up a little or pulling out some speed brakes to get us below 250. And then yeah, I might set this, I had it at 180, I might bring it down to 190, but I like to have it below, and then as soon as we level out, it'll power up just enough to give us 190, and then we can start configuring as the speed leads off as we level out at 2,500. That is the idea anyway. And yeah, what was our approach called again? Obella. That was it, yeah. So we're coming at Obella at 88 degrees at the moment, and then we're going to turn on to 77, and that's going to be our runway 78 degrees. So that's our course, which literally right at the beginning of the video was the first thing I was going to do, and I was like, actually we can do that in flight, so let's do it now. Keep forgetting I got to keep dragging to make this turn. Other way. Oh, you are laggy, 46. Which way are you going? 99, oh, it's spinning really fast, okay. $78, there we go, finally. That's just a precaution that mentor pilot taught me. Because everything's done sort of digitally, so we don't really need it, but it's on the off chance that we need to glance suddenly or need to dial it. At a glance, we know what our runway is. And same with the heading select, which I haven't actually been doing. But especially now, in case we do get vectors to fly somewhere else, and we suddenly have to disable nav, and we pop heading select on, it's already in the direction we're going, so we can activate heading and then decide which direction we want to point the nose, instead of having to swing it around 180 degrees before we can make that decision, in which case we're 5 or 6 seconds further past that turn point. Ah yes, I have an end comment. Very, very high indeed, sir. Hello.
We're below 18,000 feet. Just a reminder to switch the
Thank you very
altimeter
much
to
for
low
the
pressure.
polite reminder. Okay, and what was it? 0.97, I think. Oh yeah. Yeah. Alrighty, and then I don't actually know how to set minimums, but I noticed this says mins, and if you spin that, kind of gives us a minimum down here. Don't really know what it's meant to be, but I go roughly 200 feet above the runway, which was at about 200 feet, 300 and something feet. Whoa. A little bit more. Whoopsie, wrong one. So So somewhere, yeah, about 4:30. Well, how about this for Perks 1? There we go. So Barrow, and then I set that was the radio mins, and the Barrow mins were set to the same. And again, I don't know that that's accurate, but it's just what I do by default. So yeah, I think we're going to get quite... Ooh, we're getting very low too. Let's put the nose up a little bit. Slow our speed down and our descent. Still quite low. It's got a 1500. Continue this pointless activity. Let's just quickly get that to 420. Okay, so we have minimum set for roughly about 100 feet, or just less than 100 feet above the runway. 212, so a little bit more than 100 feet above. 108 feet minimums, which again I also don't fully understand. I know the minimums, well, as far as I know, your minimums, if you can't see the runway when the plane says minimums, or you're not configured properly, then it's like guaranteed go around, but that's all I know. And we have a crosswind currently of 6 knots. The wind didn't look bad on the runway though. 6 knots headwind with 2 cross from the other direction. It's random. Oh, I'm not even looking. It's recommending runway 8 left. That's why I looked at that. We're not coming in on that though, are we? We're coming in on runway 8 right. Same conditions. .300 feet, so 10 feet lower. Sounds good to know. And same ILS frequency, I hope. 1110.3. Let's actually double check that because it's a different runway. Shit, it wasn't. Yeah, that's why our plane wasn't showing up on the map, possibly. We were literally that was close. Yes. That was close. We were nearly... we would have been lined up for the wrong runway. Okay. Runway 8 right. Has that made any difference on our maps? Are we featuring on the map now? Maybe that's not a guarantee, or maybe it doesn't do it anymore. Or I'm doing something else wrong, but usually you see the plane on this PDF version. Anyway, I think we're getting quite low and close. What's our altitude? Just gone below 10,000. Let's level off a little bit and just get our bearings here. Let's do this. Oh yeah, we're getting there, we're pretty close. Direct to 28 miles. See if we can find our runway, because we're VFR now. Lima, Roger, Octopus, Piano. You tell I'm not a real pilot yet. sneak under that a little bit. But I can't drop the nose too much because we're very close to speeding at the minute. Okay, now let's hang out where we were. We also do need to actually start getting a little lower. Let's put a little bit of speed brake on. What are we? It's doing it again. Hang on, let's switch this over and switch it back. So now it's put us back up to like 300 knots. Pull it, whoa. Pull it right back. Okay, there we go. We're back on track. I've got to remember to switch that over when we get below. I don't really know what the height is, but it's at the point in which Mark 6 and 250, I don't know. It's at a point in which the two units like meet, I think. Okay, but yeah, let's go for 185 in between the two that we chose last time. The last two times. And hope that it stays there. Okay, now we'll lose more speed so we can put our nose down a bit more. And then let's try and tune our approach before we hit the runway. Nearest airports. Is this us there? I can't remember. LROP, no. Octopus, that's it. I really must learn, there we go, how to tune the radio, because I can get the frequency and it's so annoying to roll through this thing. Full stop landing.
Otapini Tower, Post Foz Sierra Alpha, Alpha 414 is 28 miles west, 6400, with Alpha to land.
Go and drop the nose a
Foz
bit.
Sierra Alpha Alpha 414, Otapini Tower, UNH 1015. Make straight in runway 08 right.
Okay, we are very close. Let's acknowledge that. Yeah, we're coming in hot. Let's
Fly straight in runway
get a little
08
bit of
right.
speed brakes on
Post Foz
here.
Sierra Alpha, Alpha 414.
Whoa, get a lot of speed brakes on then. Sorry everybody, just threw you all out of your seats. Let's ease that back a little bit. We should also probably put our seatbelt lights on at some stage. And get our landing lights on. We'll get the taxi onto auto. Just double check. Auto brakes. Okay, speed brake is still currently active. Coming under 4,000 feet. Let's put the nose up a little bit. Speed's looking good. Okay, let's try and use the preset views from now, because it'll be a bit smoother. Okay, coming up on 2.5. Sounding a bit shaky.
2500.
Okay, let's get that speed brake off. We probably should have taken it off a while ago, actually. Oh, yeah, we're in change the views now. There we go, and I'm gonna go for flaps 1. Let's get the speed. Oh, okay, speed brake is armed. We got a runway in sight yet? We're still a little far out. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, I can see it there. It's actually saying we're low. We are low. Came in a little bit hot there. Got a bit nervous. I haven't flown this plane for a while. I'm used to our world tour and our tiny little diamond DA 62, which is quite a bit more nimble, and it's like top speed is it's still slower than what we're going right now. Okay, hopefully everything works on landing, because currently we're being told to fly to airplane. Let's pop our approach on right about now. Oops, let's try and remember to use these. Okay, so we've got approach and glide slope ready and waiting. Zoom in on our little map here. Make a left turn now, and then we should, at that left turn, hit the glide slope. Or we'll make a right turn. No, it's just leaning in on the turn, I think, because we're going quite slow. Let's get flaps 5. Flaps 5, green lights. Whoopsie. Have we got a runway in sight? Yes, we do. Let's see, if we didn't change that ILS from 1110.5 to 1110.3, it would have been lining us up there on the left. So that was close. Okay, Vorlock and ILS approach is selected. Let's go gear down and flaps 15. We'll go for 175 knots. Actually 170 knots. Still no glide slope, but we are still, I reckon we'll get it at that point. Foxtrot 08 Romeo. Oh, there we go, glide slope has begun. That means in my head that we're going a little bit fast because it started slightly early. Let's bring us back to 160. And what's after flaps 15? Flaps 2. Well, we actually probably at flaps 10 at the moment, not flaps 15. No, we are flaps 15. Okay, flaps 25. I'll probably use flaps 30 because we are heavy. Slow us down a little more. 155 knots.
at trees. Clear to land runway 08 right.
Firing that for you. Did you get my confirmation there? Oops, wrong button, sorry. Acknowledge, thank you.
Clear to land runway 08 right. Pose 5 Sierra Alpha, Alpha 414.
Okay, speed 150. Flaps 30. Go for 145. These are a little low. Just gonna keep an eye on when it says 500 versus. Yeah, we're low and our aircraft's reading quite a different.
500.
Yeah, we're 40 feet above. I mean, below, like.
400.
Alrighty, here goes nothing.
300.
It's been a while. Watch out for the lampposts.
200.
Oh, we're so low. Ooh, we're gonna trust. There we go.
100.
I think his minimums are probably a bit late, although that was, you could still go around.
50. 40. 30.
Okay, I'm gonna kill
20,
that autopilot. Let's
10.
power down. Oh, touchdown. Come on, baby, touchdown. Oh, there we go, and reverses. Oh, that's not the most graceful landing. It might have been a bit fast. Reduce reverse thrusters.
Post Boss Sierra
Flaps
Alpha
0.
Alpha 414. Turn next taxiway.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, that was quite a long. We used a lot of that runway. We probably came in a little bit fast. Anyone can recommend a speed you should land this. And I think that was pretty good. I'm fairly happy with that. Let's just turn off the speed brake. Air brake rather. No, speed brake. Auto brake turns off automatically.
Exit runway when able.
Yeah, we're getting there. You were the one who stuck my short hold 55,000 miles away. Hold short. Every time.
Post Boss Sierra Alpha Alpha 414. Exit runway when able.
Yep. Speed brake is actually still on. There we go. Oh, beautiful afternoon sun across the dash.
Post Boss Sierra Alpha Alpha 414. Contact ground on 121.855.
121.855 for Post Foz Sierra Alpha Alpha 414.
A little bit further. It's always hard to work out where the tail ends. There we go. Where's taxi?
Otapini ground. Post Foz Sierra Alpha Alpha 414. Taxi to parking.
Post Boss Sierra Alpha Alpha 414. Taxi to gate 101 using taxiway Delta Charlie November Sierra Lima.
Taxiing to gate 101 via taxiway Delta Charlie November Sierra Lima. Post Foz Sierra Alpha Alpha 414.
Welcome to Romania. I do wish he would
Ladies
say
and
that
gentlemen,
in this
we have
little
not reached the
announcement.
gate yet.
That's all he
Please remain
says.
seated until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. Thank you.
Well, welcome to Romania. I did notice on this one earlier, I was actually sitting in the cabin looking out the window when it happened, but we got an announcement from the cabin crew that we had reached cruise altitude. Like it was a female voice doing it, and I don't recall. I sort of feel like it's usually they request you do that. I think it was like an independent thing. I don't know. Or it was my male looking with female voice co-pilot over there who's also the purser. I'm not sure. Oops, let's turn our landing lights off. Runway lights. Sorry. Not too sure where we're going yet. It's long. We've got another mile to go still. Sound in this game is so good. Like as I look left to right, the levels change. Like you're now more to this side. Crazy. A nice looking place, very flat. In this particular part of Romania, anyway. Find a way to start giving a little bit more information about where we are during the flights. So, turns out I don't know much about the world now that I have the whole world to explore. I like the look of those though, massive. I've flown one of those successfully one or two times, but it's very much like a hit and miss. I just hope for the best, and like things kind of work as long as I don't change much. Is that Air New Zealand? Oh no. As long as I don't change anything and just sort of let the plane do its thing, and then when I come in for landing I literally just turn off the audio for the warnings and then just land it manually, because it seems to fly okay manually, but it does not like it. It just screams at you the whole time. Well, not the whole time. I'm getting slightly better. That's that I haven't flown one in about 3 months now, and I've been doing a lot of world touring and Boeing flights, so it would be tricky. But yeah, once I get the 747, which yeah, after this flight we would have finally got 200 million, thank you very much, which is still far off our target. We still have 70 million to go, but that was the next sort of big hurdle. We could potentially sell this aircraft and then we would have enough to buy the 747, but I don't really want to do that. I'd kind of like to keep both, because I think the 747 is going to be a cargo aircraft for the cargo company. I'm not even sure if you can fly the 747 as a passenger airline, but we will find out soon. We're not far off. If we can do basically 7 more flights like this, I think we're going to get about a 10 million payout for this. It's said slightly less, but I think that was a pretty successful flight. The weather was good, so there shouldn't be a bad weather warning. I mean, bad weather bonus. But sometimes you get them anyway. They consider it bad weather. But we definitely didn't fly through any bad weather. We had a tiny bit of turbulence. Oops, turned a little early there. There we go. Taxi you all the way back to Spain. Basque country. Hello, 737. Oopsie. What's that? A 717. That's cool. Oops. Oopsie. There's another interesting looking one. That looks cool too. Are we going to be able to do it? Can we do it? That's a really bad shot. Let's get it once we've parked. I'm going all over the place here. Although they've already put the the ramp out, and I've still got the chick directing me. I can't really see her. There we go. A little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. There we go. I thought so, but then I saw the ramp flying out towards us, and it sort of comes out and then it'll reset itself where it needs to be. It's cool. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed your flight upon SAF Air. Oh no, they completely missed the plot. Just brace yourself for the drop when you get out. It doesn't look that high, but it is incredibly high. We'll get some ambulances for you on the way. Okay. Taxi lights. Oh, I should probably put the parking brake on and power this beast down. Okay, or we'll turn it off and start rolling forward again and crush the lady in front of us. Could use the reverse thrusters and back up to the... No, let's not do that. Let's shut this bird down. Alrighty, we made it. Not bad, not bad. Sweet, everything went perfectly. I usually always miss a few. ATC. 11:55. We started at about 7. Okay, let's see what the payout is. Oh, okay. Yeah, there was no bad weather bonus. I reckon if there was, we would have got a bit more. Anyway, that should still be enough to get us to... Let's see. Oh yeah, 201 million. We'll probably spend that. Get it straight back down just to service the plane, but we'll deal with that on another day. Thank you very much for watching, and farewell.